This is Duke University.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you not yet standing, could you all please rise? And on behalf of the faculty and staff of the Fuqua School of Business, I present to you the cross-continent class of 2013, the weekend executive class of 2013, and the global executive class of 2014. Could everyone please be seated? We now have an answer to the question of how many MBAs does it take to find seats at a graduation. Congratulations on having accomplished that task. It is an honor and a privilege to be the Dean of the Fuqua School of Business. And every day at the Fuqua School is a great day, but this day is an extra special day. I'd like to recognize a number of people that are here and some that aren't, but I want to start by recognizing the graduates. What you have done is unbelievably difficult. You've managed to juggle work, family, life, stress, difficult times, and a full-time MBA program. This is not a part-time MBA program. You've put all that together, and that is extremely hard to do. It's extremely challenging, and yet you've accomplished that goal. My hope is that instead of thinking through all the stress, the frustration, the difficult times that you've been through, that you're also thinking through the fact that you were challenged, that you grew, that you were transformed, and maybe even that you had a little bit of fun along the way. In fact, I hope that at least in small measure that you're going to miss us. And I know that we're going to miss you because we deeply appreciate that you took the responsibility to co-create an experience that is so important and will be so important for the rest of your lives. Another group that I'd like to recognize are all the friends and the families that are here and those that aren't here that supported you during that process, because you can't do what you've done on your own. You need a lot of help from a lot of different places, and I'm deeply appreciative not just of what you've contributed, but what everyone has contributed who stands behind you. For those people, I suspect that there is no ambiguity of feeling. It is, okay, we're happy you're done, let's get on with it. I'd also like to thank the faculty who pushed you, who challenged you, and who led you in ways to figure out how you could grow and develop. And I'm deeply appreciative of the effort that the faculty have put in with you in making this a high-quality experience. And I also need to recognize the staff that have been with you every step of the way in terms of creating an experience that, yes, may have been difficult, may have had some bumps and bruises, but they were there at every point along the way to make sure that this could be done. So thank you to all of those groups for making a great experience for you that we can now celebrate today. With that, I'd like to now turn things over to the Associate Dean for the Executive MBA programs, John Gallagher.
Thank you, Bill. It's a great pleasure to be here and be a part of this celebration today. The cross-continent, weekend executive, and global executive classes have spent many, many hours under the tutelage of the Fuqua faculty. And so now, to begin our celebration, it gives me pleasure to introduce to you Richard A.S. LeBennett, who will make the presentation of the Excellence in Teaching Awards on behalf of the cross-continent class of 2013.
Good morning. God is good. It's such a blessing to be here this morning. To the faculty, friends, family, our beloved mothers, and of course my fellow graduates, today we celebrate a tremendous accomplishment, a balancing act like none other with school, work, fun, and studying all in the air. Hoping none of it hit the ground, we spent hours in residency and at home, studying, meeting, writing, reading, and literally traveling just to get to this point. However, we must not forget the staff and the professors who came along with us. They spent every day in residency on their feet, teaching 1, 2, and 3-hour courses back to back to back, so that one day we would be able to say, yes, I'm a Duke MBA. We would be remiss if we did not honor those who helped us get to this point, which brings me to the Excellence in Teaching Awards for the Cross-Continent Class of 2013. The first honor goes to our Core Faculty Award winner, a man of very strong opinions, an even stronger personality, and most importantly, a professor who could back them up with facts. We met him in New Delhi, India, just after the midway point in our MBA journey. We were burnt out, jet-lagged, and caffeine-dependent. Despite all of this, Sharon was instantly one of the class favorites, offering a pragmatic, conversational style of learning. In fact, we learned just as much from him, the expert in the room, as we learned from the several other experts that were in the room. Professor Belenson did not come to the classroom to force-feed us with course content and tactical assignments from the textbook. His goal was to fundamentally change the way we thought about strategic thinking. If you were not prepared for this class, well, you were in for a spirited debate. And if you were prepared and offered sound commentary, you received an encouraging fantastic in response. We thank you, Professor Sharon Belenson, for your insight and your encouragement in our journey to become leaders of consequence.
Thank you very much. This is obviously a great honor. You were one of the best classes I've ever taught, and it was a fantastic experience for me as well. Again, I've learned a lot from all of you. I would like to thank, first of all, my family, of course. And secondly, I would like to mention and emphasize that this course is a big effort of not only myself, but all the faculty in strategy, including Ashish Arora, Wes Cohen, John Feld, Ronnie Chatterjee, and John Joseph. Together, I think we are working very hard to make this course the best that we can. And all of us greatly appreciate your kind of feedback, support, and we are very honored by your recognition. Thank you very much.
The next award or honor goes to our elective faculty member. Professor Ashley Shelby Rosette captured our attention immediately, despite the distracting excitement of finally making it to term 6 and the last time our entire class would ever be in the same place at one time. There was one thing that I knew that would not be up for negotiation, though, and that's the road to my degree went through her. She opened up the class with enthusiasm, excitement, and with a wave of her hand, we were off to debunk everything we thought we knew about negotiating. It's funny, after traveling the world with your classmates, getting in and out and sometimes of some precarious situations, you think you knew them pretty well until you sat down across from them in one of Professor Rosette's negotiations classes. Who knew the most quiet, mild-mannered, polite students would turn into hard-nosed, take-no-prisoners, tough-as-nails tacticians? Likewise, some of the most outgoing and gregarious students established a different reputation altogether. Professor Rosette had a way of breaking down all of our bad habits and replacing them with something much, much better. One thing's for sure, by the end of the course, we were all ready to take a crack at negotiating that next deal, whether it's at work, at home, or maybe the nearest car dealership. Please join me in saying thank you to Professor Ashley Rosette for an outstanding classroom experience. Thank you so much. Thank you. There you go.
Thank you so much. It is an amazing, amazing award that you are bestowing upon me, and I am so thankful for it. It's such an honor. I think one of the highest honors that any professor can receive is to be nominated by her students, and so thank you for that. And with that said, I would just like to wish my students, I hope that you have very few what had happened moments. To the rest of you and to all of the graduating class, I wish you success, I wish you happiness, and I wish you peace. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And now I would like to introduce Horatio W. Jones IV, who will make the presentation of the Excellence in Teaching Awards on behalf of the Weekend Executive Class of 2013.
How was everybody? First and foremost, I'm truly honored to be here. I appreciate you guys allowing me to spend a few minutes with you. For those of you that aren't familiar with the profile of our class, day one, I was just blown away. We've got medical doctors, we've got technology professionals, we've got executives, we have entrepreneurs, we have individuals within our class who's, in terms of their masterate level education, this is by no means their first degree. And quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's their last, or for a few of my colleagues here. With that being said, we are a tough group to have to sit in front of for hours at a time and convey material to teach, to lead. But we had an incredible, incredible set of professors that was willing to take the journey with us, to challenge us, to push us, and continue to guide us throughout this educational process as we were seeking our MBAs. If anybody's wondering, the Fuqua MBA program is by no means a program where you stroke a check, you show up, and you get a degree. That's not the way it works. We had to work hard, we had to work long, it was tough, and we were very, very fortunate to have some fantastic professors. But with that said, there were two professors that went above and beyond in terms of the way that they synthesized material, in terms of the way that they pushed us, that they challenged us. And today I have the honor of presenting each of them with their awards. The first of the two is Jim Smith, our decision models professor. Jim, what I want you to know is that for the rest of my career, when it comes to sensitizing data, whether it's using crystal ball, decision trees, any set of models that you armed us with, I'm a better leader, as I know my classmates are, and I'll be a better manager for it. I'm honored to present you with this award today.
Thank you all. I'm honored, surprised. Bill alluded to sources of stress, and I recognize I was very much one of those. I really enjoyed teaching you. Horatio made it sound like you're a tough audience, and I didn't feel that way at all. When I teach you all, I feel like I'm teaching my friends and neighbors, and it's a very comfortable and welcoming environment, so I thank you for that. And it's a great honor in part because, I mean, you had a lot of great faculty, and for you to single me out is humbling. And I think I get the nerd vote for all the spreadsheet guys, and so I thank you all very much.
Well, Jim, I have to say, as easy as we were going, we appreciate how easy you were on our final. Yeah. In terms of us being an easy class, that may be debatable, but apparently rumor must have gotten out before we had a chance to sit down and talk with Mr. Simone Gervais here, because the first day of class when he showed up, most professors are going to use a red dot pointer or a mouse indicator to highlight things that they want you to pay attention to. He pulled out a baseball bat, and for the entire term, used a baseball bat to highlight the things that we need to pay attention to as he walked up to the board. So, as you can imagine, there was very little pushback to the points that he made, and he had no behavioral issues at all in class. But relative to corporate finance, net present value calculations, having the ability to walk through financial statements, we can't thank you enough for your tutelage and for you as a professor. So if I can, I'm honored again to present you with this award. Please come join us. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. This means a lot to me. I really, really do appreciate it. At the same time, I want to thank the people, the students who were sitting in my class. Dean Boulding mentioned the word co-create earlier, and that's really how I feel about my course. So if people kind of get into it, and it's easy to, when I first introduce concepts that are not necessarily that sexy or very exciting at first, like debt capacity and weighted average cost of capital, but people let me go through this, and they persevered, and they didn't ask, well, is this something I can make money off next week? They just said, well, let's kind of see what the entire course looks like. And there seems to be a way of thinking about things, of organizing our thought process, and this is what the course is about, and you allowed me to do it, and I owe it all to you that you followed me along through all of this. Again, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
And now, I'd like to introduce Douglas H. Liedberg, who will make the presentation of the Excellence in Teaching Award on behalf of the Global Executive MBA Class of 2014. Doug?
Wow. What a great day. And what a great privilege it is for me to represent the Gemba Class of 2014 and to present this Excellence in Teaching Award. As I'm sure you can all appreciate, given the tremendous and distinguished group of professors we had, selecting a winner for this award was not easy. We really just had an outstanding team across the board. That said, the votes have been cast, they've been counted, and I am very pleased to announce this year's winner, Professor Mohan Ventakachalam, or as we affectionately refer to him as Dr. V. When our class came together about 15 months ago, the very first class we had was accounting. And we had a lot of accounting. not to mention a midterm. From that very first class, Dr. V grabbed our attention and he never let go. Thanks to his unique teaching style, his positive energy, and his infectious enthusiasm. In that 1 week, it truly was amazing how much material we covered and how much we all learned. So, how can you describe Dr. V? Well, here are just a few examples from our class. Outstanding, passion, enthusiasm, a true expert in his field, makes accounting fun and interesting, one of a kind, special, one of the very best. As you can see, Dr. V set a very positive tone for our accounting course and for our Gemba program in general. In fact, you could say that Dr. V was our class's launchpad. So, on behalf of the Gemba class of 2014, let me just conclude by saying, Dr. V, thank you for everything you taught us. Thank you for your inspiration and the fine example that you set. Thank you for your support, for your friendship, and thank you for being our launchpad. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Dr. V on this very well-deserved award. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doug. I don't think even my mother could have done a better job. Sorry, Mom, but happy Mother's Day, though. Congratulations, class of 2013 and 2014, on successfully completing a journey with flying colors, particularly Duke Blue. I'm humbled and deeply moved by this gesture. But I do not stand alone with this award. There are several invisible yet deserving hands that is holding on to this award. First, it's you, the students, who inspire me with your passion, commitment, and engagement. Without you, I wouldn't be here. My graduate students, Mani and Thomas, deserve mention here. They made me better behind the scenes, for sure. My colleagues, some of whom are here today, Jennifer Francis, who's been my mentor and guide for a long time, and Catherine Schipper, who's always generous with her time and shares her encyclopedic knowledge. Everyone knows about that. Bill Mayu and Shane DeCauley, who consistently press me to do better every single day, be it teaching or research. And of course, my family, for their continued support despite busy weekends and botched vacation plans. And I would like to dedicate this award in memory of my dad, an accounting educator himself. I think he would have been very proud to see me receive this award. This is for you, Dad. Thank you, and congratulations.
I would like to present Lise M. Bostrom, who has worked with our development and alumni relations staff and his classmates, and will now present Dean Boulding with the cross-continent class gift. Please.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here, friends, family, faculty, fellow classmates. It's been a long journey. Feels good to be here, right? Today I have the honor of presenting Dean Boulding with a gift from the entire CCMBA class of 2013. But first, I would like to say thank you to my fellow graduates for coming together and showing our true Fuqua spirit. We have accomplished quite a feat. In addition to the generosity of each class member, a few people should be recognized who helped make this campaign a big success. First, Monica Catalano and Jessica Steinberg. We would have been lost without you. And second, to a few classmates, Aaron Udler, Richard LeBennett, Jody Zhu, Jacob Stark, and Willie Green. Thank you. So this year, I'm excited to say that over 81% of our graduating class made a donation to the class gift. And Dean Boulding, as a demonstration of the 2013 cross-continent class's commitment to our soon-to-officially be newest alma mater, I would like to present this check to you in the amount of $18,638. Congratulations.
Thank you so much to all of you for showing not just symbolically how important the school is, but substantively. It really makes a difference that you're willing to invest not only in your own experience, but in the experience of those who will follow you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you to the class for their tremendous support for the Fuqua School of Business. Jamin S. Patel has also worked closely with development and alumni relations and his classmates, and now will present Dean Boulding with the Weekend Executive class gift.
Good morning. When the class volunteer committee got together over the fall, we strategized with a divide and conquer approach, trying to get all our classmates to contribute to this fund. But we never realized we would be expecting to learn one of the most important lessons of being a leader of consequence: selflessness. The generosity and actions of each of the students who demonstrate their selflessness to pay it forward for future students, as others in the past have done for us. To my fellow committee members, Aaron Lentz, Anup Shah, Noah Berger, Obi Oke-Ezi, Peter Creighton, and Kevin Roy, thank you for your help making the campaign a success. To this distinguished faculty, leadership team, and Dean Boulding, we want to express our thanks for your unending dedication to teaching, listening, and bringing out the best in all of us. This is the first of many to express our commitment to Duke University and the Fuqua School of Business. Dean Boulding, it is my honor to present you the class gift for the Weekend Executive Class of 2013.
I don't think I can do better than the words of being selfless and paying it forward. Again, thank you so much for investing in our future.
Thank you. And thanks to the staff for their support, the Fuqua School of Business. Shankar Palani-Appan has also worked closely with development and alumni relations and his classmates and will now present Dean Boulding with the Global Executive Class Gift.
Dean Boulding, distinguished faculty and graduating class of 2014, and family and friends. In the spirit of giving and continuous improvement, I'd like to present Dean Boulding and Fuqua with this check from the Global Executive MBA class of 2014. Our class has come together in true Team Fuqua spirit and raised $19,910 with a class participation of 64%. And after 5 o'clock deadline, we actually passed the $20,000 mark also. So thank you to everybody from the Gamba class of 2014. Very special thanks to the class leaders, Fred, Doug, John, Sia. Thank you and everyone else who participated in this and for contributing this check. Once again, thank you so much, and I'd like to present Dean the check.
Thank you to the cross-continent students, the weekend students, and the global students for just a fantastic show of support. And now my challenge is I'm going to have to find a really big bank for these big checks. So thank you all.
I would now like to introduce the class speaker for the cross-continent class of 2013, Ali S. Ishaq.
You know, it feels like yesterday when we started the program off in Durham, all innocent and doe-eyed, raising our hands and asking if we could actually do more than one concentration. It feels like yesterday that for some reason, right around the times that finals kicked in, everyone and everything in our lives got the memo to go haywire. It feels like yesterday, right when you were submitting those finals, a knock on the door delivered the next box of free term materials for the following term. It feels like yesterday that we would buy our plane tickets to jet set and take classes in the breathtaking Shanghai skyline amidst the soaring heights of buildings in Dubai, in the immense history all around us in New Delhi, the picturesque setting of St. Petersburg, and of course the beautiful campus here of Duke and Durham. You know, all these moments and memories feel like yesterday, and here we are in Cameron Stadium accepting our diplomas. Working through this program feels like such a big whirlwind. Life seemingly moved on fast forward. You know, about a whole new level of appreciation to that famous quote from that inspiring documentary about his day off when Ferris Bueller tells us, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you're going to miss it. Today's celebration warrants a heavy round of thank yous, because in addition to the considerable experience that all of us had at Fuqua, we owe a more substantive and substantial debt of gratitude to those who helped us get to this moment. On behalf of the CCMBA class of 2013, a big thank you to our CCMBA administrators and staff, our world-class professors, and of course, to our friends, our family, our spouses. You know, when we started this program off, you were there providing your smiles, your support. When we were in the midst of finals, you were there giving us the motivation that we could actually make it through. And now that we're done, you absolutely deserve your spot to be here in the audience. Thank you for being there for us. And don't think I've forgotten about you guys on the floor with all of our cute matching outfits. You know, when I describe the format of our program to people outside of it, these full-time classes, full-time school, intensive international travel, all these different features, people would often have a quizzical, confused look on their face, followed by the question of who in their right mind would put themselves through this. Well, my friends, look to your left, look to your right. We are the people who put ourselves through this, and not only did we survive, we thrived. You know, there's a team aspect to this accomplishment, working with distributed colleagues who are through 25 countries, more than 100 industries, and 35 different companies. We've made lifelong friends who've proven that they can not only be relied on when you have a big final project and decision models, but also when you're breaking it down on the dance floor at Bar Rouge in Shanghai. I bring this up because we hear so much about the networking aspect of business school, and I want to make sure that we keep that alive and thriving. I don't want to hear from you guys in the first year or 5-year reunion. I want to see you in the 50-year reunion in 2063, and yes, that'll include the after party at Shooters. You know, one of my biggest takeaways from the program, which we've heard from previous speakers as well, is this idea that we can really go farther than any of us had imagined before. It took me to my limit. And after accomplishing this, I really wonder what else we can accomplish in the world around us. I mean, everyone responded before about the fact that we were in work, we were going through regular life, and we still made it through. We have truly earned our way to be on this floor today. Now, keeping this in mind, if you apply the same sense of discipline, if you apply the same sense of focus to other areas in our life, I'm confident that we can do big things. Now, we've already made, I think, impact in the world of business around us. There were numerous promotions, and people have opened businesses, and we can see people going to new jobs. But what I challenge you to do is to apply our key skill set past the world of business. I'm going to ask for the audience to participate in this next portion, because there's a statistic that I think always brings these kind of points home to me. How many of you bought a cup of coffee in the last, I don't know, couple of days? Raise your hand in the audience. How much did you pay for that cup of coffee? Throw out some numbers at me. Just shout them out. $2? All right, that sounds about right. We live in a world today where the World Bank estimates that more than 60% of the world's population survives on less than it costs us to have a cup of coffee over here. So whereas I'm confident that we're going to make a big impact in the world of business, what I really encourage you to do, my colleagues, is to reach past that world and see what else we can do in the world around us. Now, even though we've completed, thank you. Now, even though we've completed this program, proving that so far we can emerge victorious with the best of them, our real journeys lie ahead. And it's here that we will truly test our mettle and make our mark in the world. I genuinely look forward to what all of you will accomplish. World, you better watch out. The CC MBA class of 2013 is on the loose. Congratulations, my friend. Go Team Fuqua.
And now I'd like to introduce the class speaker of the weekend class of 2013, Kevin F. Roy.
Thank you. Before I get started, I want to first echo Dean Boulding's comments about our families. For every hour spent on campus here, there were many more spent behind closed doors at home, on team calls, or at libraries. There are important family matters that were deferred or delayed until we just get through the program or just get through this week. On behalf of our class, I want to thank our families who persevered with us on this journey. On my very last day at Fuqua, I was running on campus. As I reflected on the aspirations we all had as we started the program, I noticed the flags hanging on the light posts outside of Cameron Indoor Stadium here. There are 9 of these flags, but 3 caught my eye with the words loyalty, commitment, and diversity. I decided if I was fortunate enough to give this speech, that I would describe how those 3 words, loyalty, commitment, and diversity, serve as pillars for our experience at Fuqua. The first flag reflects our loyalty to class, school, and university. It is demonstrated by each student's fidelity to academic excellence and standards, by the faculty's demand for rigor, by our loyalty to each other's best interests, which is understood by one phrase, Team Fuqua. Secondly, to secure this loyalty, we need the commitment of the Fuqua community. Now, it's easy to understand what this sense of commitment is when you've spent time here, but how do you describe it to our guests here today? I've decided to focus on our faculty as representative of this, but it applies to the Fuqua administration and our wonderful program leaders, especially Purvi as well. I was fortunate enough to have Professor Smith and Gervais, our Excellence in Teaching Award winners, and they epitomized this commitment. 2 quick stories. Professor Smith brought to our class many great insights from his real-world experience. including how he built a decision model to help plan his wedding. But the thing I remember most is how he just never let up. If the class was really getting it, he would say, "Let me ask another question," and what followed was sure to be challenging. And since Horatio mentioned the final, I reflect on Obi saying after the final, "Man, 24 hours goes fast." Again, the point is nobody got off easy, but he did so with a quality that showed he had a commitment to our best interest at heart. Professor Gervais one day could tell that we were not getting the material. He stopped the class and said, "Let's take 20 minutes and I'll go back and see if I can put something together and see if we can get this." He then runs back to his office and essentially rewrites the lecture in a simple chart that helped us to get it for the rest of the term. He cared enough about our learning that day to find a way to get the job done, but by the look on his face when he left, I'm not sure he thought that was actually possible. I could tell stories about each professor we had. Ravi from the general finance course commanded such respect that the class froze in sheer admiration day after day. Sim Sikin, with whom we spent so much time, also showed commitment with his energy and passion. To me, the faculty, without exception, epitomized the word commitment that we see throughout the Fuqua community. Finally, along with the loyalty and commitment, the third pillar of my remarks is diversity. Diversity is frequently taken as an end to itself, but why it's inherently good is often neglected. Our class came from a variety of fields: medicine, technology, finance, accounting, and yes, engineering. To say that learning about industries was of value to those hoping to lead an organization or become a founder of a startup would be an understatement. We also came from a diversity of countries, and I cherish what I learned from my peers about India, China, Nigeria, and Brazil, to name a few. But I was also impressed that my classmates wanted to learn more about the United States, and they chose an American business school for a reason, and Fuqua created an environment in which this diversity could thrive. Finally, we had a diversity of worldviews, and while this rarely crept into class, it is a tribute to the intellectual curiosity of our class that we did not shy away from these conversations outside of it. In fact, they would often run late into the night. My experience was that we welcomed a diversity of perspectives, that Duke and Fuqua especially are welcoming places for our veterans like Ed, Eric, Josh, and Wes, and active duty members like Jeff, with whom we were all privileged to be classmates, that the leaders that will emerge from this class embraced ideological diversity with respect for our differing views, and I found it a place where true learning and dialogue could occur. In conclusion, my MBA experience is more than a degree that may one day hang on a wall, is more than a credential for a resume. Whatever our aspirations heading into the program, I know that we are more enriched today than I thought possible. And along with the lifelong friendships our class developed, I believe that Fuqua has prepared us to be lifelong leaders. My expectation for this class is that we'll be worthy of this opportunity, and we will do so with the same loyalty and commitment we showed each other as we go our separate and diverse ways. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Now I'd like to introduce the class speaker for the Global Executive Class of 2014, Luke K. Klein.
Good morning. It's great to be here. I really mean that. I mean, it is really great to be here. Thank you very much. And on behalf of the Global Executive Class, I would like to thank all of the Fuqua faculty, staff, and administration, anyone and everyone who taught us, supported us, befriended us. Thank you all so much. I'd also like to recognize our families and friends for your support. I can personally guarantee you that some of us would not have made it through this program without you. So please join me in a round of applause for all of our families and friends, including Lauren, May, Orrin, and Thomas Klein. Thank you so much. To my classmates, thank you for the privilege of being your designated speaker. We made it, and we made it together. I know you will all agree that we have bonded. We have helped each other balance the demands of school, work, and family, an arduous task that's more art than science. We survived all the midterms and finals, late-night WebEx meetings, and team projects. We emerged unscathed after our tour bus chose to reverse down a busy Russian highway after missing its exit. and our rickshaws pedaled us through the chaotic and overwhelming streets of Old Delhi in India. We celebrate today knowing that we have indeed changed. About 15 months ago, our Term 1 boxes arrived on our doorsteps, packed remarkably efficiently and at full capacity, almost as if Fuqua was sending us a subtle message. This is what you asked for, so get ready. Well, we've come full circle, both literally and figuratively, and we have learned a great deal. But the story of our class is about much more than that. Each of us has contributed to an experience that no one can ever take away from us, an experience that will not only make us better business leaders, but hopefully better people. Together, we have formed a community, better yet, a family, and we have achieved something special. I'm proud to say that I believe we did it all on a foundation comprised of 3 values: respect, support, and accountability. Our Fuqua experience has reminded us that respect should be at the core of the actions we take and the decisions that we make as managers, as leaders, and as decent people. Respect for ourselves, our principles, and respect for others. Our Fuqua experience has also reminded us that we should appreciate opportunities. I believe this education is a gift. We have examined global economies and markets through various lenses with the understanding that it's not always about knowing the answers, but rather finding the right questions to ask. We have toured palaces and we have walked through slums. Everywhere we've been, we've seen people of all classes and ethnicities working, earning, trying to create value. We have listened to and interacted with those people. We've challenged ourselves to better understand their ways of doing business, their culture, and to respect our differences so that we may become more informed about how to conduct our own affairs. And as we seek new business opportunities and face new challenges in life, we should remember that we cannot always do it alone. Team Fuqua has crystallized the importance of support, and I have witnessed this firsthand. This past January, our youngest child, Thomas, was diagnosed with a rare eye cancer 3 days before I was scheduled to leave for residency in China. I was 3/5 of the way through the program, but as you could imagine, that day I could not have cared less about my MBA. My wife and I made plans for Thomas to receive his first chemotherapy treatment within several days of his diagnosis. And so I was faced with a choice: stay in the US, miss the residency, and take a leave of absence from the program, or leave for China and stay on a path towards graduation. My presence here today tells you which option I chose, but it was the most difficult decision that I have ever had to make. And I just want to be very clear that I would not have chosen to return were it not for this incredible group of people who are my classmates. I needed your support, and you gave it to me. But I'm certainly not alone. Other classmates have also experienced difficult and even painful times during this program, yet together we have supported them. That, I believe, is the true spirit of our class and the very essence of Team Fuqua. We have held each other and ourselves accountable to this concept of Team Fuqua, to respecting and supporting one another, and to making a positive contribution to our class and to Duke University. This notion of accountability exists here within this institution, and it permeates every other aspect of our lives. We commit ourselves to improving our organizations, to becoming better spouses, partners, parents, or children, and we labor tirelessly to honor those commitments. We understand that truly effective leaders, responsible leaders, are models of such accountability. So how do we honor our class, the global executive class of 2014, and this camaraderie and sense of community and family that we have created? Let's continue to practice the values that now define us: respect, support, accountability. Our different cultures and career ambitions will take us in many directions, but let's never forget what we have experienced together during these 15 months. Let's be thankful that we have had this opportunity. That's who we are. That's who you are, and I'm so proud to be among you. Thank you so much.
I'd like to thank all of the class speakers for fantastic, inspiring talks. Thank you so much. It sets a high bar for our commencement speaker, so sorry about that joke. When we look for the commencement speaker, we're looking for a variety of features that we think are important as you have someone who's going to hold your attention. One is we want to have someone of real accomplishment, a role model where you can say, that's something that I could accomplish, that's something I could aspire to. We want someone who has incredible experiences to draw from and therefore wisdom and insights to share with you as you think about the next stage of your careers. We want someone who exhibits the sense of purpose and the character that we think is critical for people who can truly make a difference in the world. And if we're really lucky, we get someone who's drawn from our community, someone who has been in your seats, in your position, and understands what it means to go through the Duke MBA program. We're incredibly fortunate that today we have Joe Utenauer with us to talk to you. Joe is the CFO of Sprint. He's someone of great accomplishment. He has remarkable experiences to draw from. He's someone with great character. He's someone who builds trust wherever he goes. He's someone who supports those around him wherever he goes. He's someone who generates respect, who has absolute integrity. And so he has the character and the sense of purpose that we think is important to show you. He also is one of you. He is a global executive MBA graduate. And I just want to tell two stories about Joe to kind of help illustrate what I mean in terms of really this character and sense of purpose. The first one is, why did he choose to get a global MBA? And he wanted to send a message to his kids. And the message was, learning doesn't stop when you've got your undergraduate degree or your undergraduate degree. Learning is a lifelong process. And I want to be a role model for you so you understand how important it is that you are a lifelong learner. Now, the second story is that Joe's life was a bit complicated when he was a part of the Global MBA program. When he started the program, he was at Satellite XM Radio. And while he was in the program, there was a big merger between XM Satellite and Sirius. To handle that merger, he had to drop out of the program. He then moved on to Quest and rejoined the program because he wanted to make sure that his kids got the message, you stick with it. So he rejoined the program when he was at Quest, and lo and behold, there's another big merger that he has to handle, and he drops out of the program again. He then comes back for a third run. Third time was a charm. And he actually made it through the program, this time with Sprint. And the thing is, if you think about what he had to do, what he showed was an incredible resilience, an ability to see the direction that he wanted to go, the example that he wanted to set, and the importance of learning, and he made that happen. He was selected as his class speaker. You think about that, this is someone who had been a part of 3 different programs, and he finally joins the last group of global students for the last half of their program, and they select him as the class speaker. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce someone who truly is a global leader of consequence. Joe?
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the graduates, family, friends, faculty, staff that are here today. I would also like to welcome all of those participating via the web. We are very grateful to all of you for your participation. If you are here from the military, I'd like to thank you for your service. I'd also like to wish all the moms Happy Mother's Day. I want to start by thanking Dean Boulding for inviting me to be here. It is a great honor to share this special occasion with all of you, especially, as he said, since I'm a recent Fuqua Executive MBA grad. I completed my MBA just a few years ago, so I know firsthand the hard work and dedication necessary to succeed here. To each of you, I offer my heartfelt congratulations and welcome to the distinguished ranks of a Fuqua alumni. I also know that today's achievement is not one that you accomplished alone. All significant accomplishments or victories in life are a result of teamwork, and this is no different. For each of you, there were family, friends, and coworkers whose support made it possible for you to focus on your studies here. So please, let's take a moment to recognize those who supported you during your time here at Fuqua. During your time at Fuqua, you had the unique and enriching opportunity. You leave with knowledge, skills, and experiences across a multitude of disciplines that you will call on every day for the rest of your career. This is only possible as a result of your conviction, as well as the conviction of the Fuqua faculty and staff. This effort of commitment and passion is something you should call upon in everything you undertake from now on. And as you look back and remember why you chose Fuqua versus some of the other programs, you remember a few key things. First and foremost, it is the people. You have learned from and with some of the smartest and most dedicated people around the world. The relationships you have gained with faculty and colleagues will stretch across the globe and be among the most gratifying in your life. Therefore, make sure you do the necessary things to protect this asset we call relationships and develop and nurture them over time. The second item is how your experience here at Fuqua has made you a better and more well-rounded leader. A leader is equipped to lead in today's ever-changing, fast-paced, complex global environment. Whether you aspire to be a CMO, a CFO, a CEO, or something totally different, your experience here at Fuqua has established the foundation for you to build off of to be the best leader you can be. Many of you will go on to achieve esteemed titles and assignments. Some of you will be involved in building businesses and products that will create jobs, solve critical societal problems, and enrich investors. And your time here at Fuqua will be a key part of that success. All of you will have the opportunity to lead. No matter where your career takes you, big multinational company, small startup, a philanthropic organization, healthcare or governmental agency, there will be a need for leaders. The faculty and administration recognize the need in this world for great leaders and have made it their mission to make sure you are well prepared and to be the best leader possible. They have worked tirelessly to guide and advise you and help prepare you to overcome the challenges that will come and leverage the opportunities that inevitably await you at work, at home, and in your community. In my mind, this is the true and great value of the Fuqua MBA. So let's also give our faculty and staff a round of applause for all their support. Leadership also applies to your life. I believe it is true that leading a successful life is very much like leading a successful business. Life, like business, involves many choices, each with benefits and cost. To navigate these choices, large and small, you need to determine what your priorities and goals are, chart a course to meet them, make choices, and regularly evaluate your progress. In short, each of us needs to manage our life to maximize the return on our investment. In business, investment is usually measured in dollars, but in life, we invest in something much more precious, time. Life is short and time is a finite resource. So to be successful, you need to balance your different goals and objectives with time you have to achieve them. I know balance can be a controversial topic. There is no shortage of smart people opining on what a well-balanced life looks like. Everyone from Confucius to Jack Welch to Sheryl Sandberg has weighed in. But there is one person who knows what the right balance is, and that is you. It is personal and it is different for each one of us. And one thing I can assure you, it will change over time. Every business must balance profitability with growth, and the recalibration that balance as evidence in it warrants. Likewise, the relative importance of such items like family, money, work, and leisure will be unique to you and fluctuate throughout your life. So the good news is there's no wrong answer in determining how to balance your life, but you have to be an active participant. You cannot sit on the sidelines. You have to be in the game. But there's homework. A successful future is based on strong convictions of your values and a proactive development and execution of a business plan. You need to determine your goals, identify your resources, develop a timeline and the necessary steps you need to take to achieve your goals. Active participation is required. In the book, How Will You Measure Your Life?, author Clayton M. Christensen sums it up perfectly when he said, "If you take the time to figure out your purpose in life, I promise that you will look back on it as the most important thing you will have ever learned." The good news is, just as in business, you are not alone. A key component in the leadership of a business comes from the board of directors. So who are you going to put on your personal board? You need to identify people you trust and you are willing to meet with periodically to share your plan and your progress. You need to make sure that the cultures and the values of your personal board members are complementary and your goals are aligned. Communication must be open and candid, and negotiation and compromise are at a premium. For myself, besides my mom and dad, my first non-family board member was an assistant dean of business who was also my first accounting professor in my undergraduate program. He was instrumental during my undergraduate career in helping me navigate college life and all of the things one needed to do to graduate and get a job. For the past 30 years, he has been my sounding board for career choices as well as other things one addresses in life. I make it a practice to visit him twice a year, along with the periodic phone calls between visits. He's 93 years old. I marvel each day at how much energy he has and his love for life. The funniest part of my semi-annual call to let him know that I am coming to visit him is when he puts me on hold so he can check his availability on his calendar. That is someone who lives life to the fullest. So as you leave here today, if you haven't already established a personal board or you need an extra member, you are sitting with a wealth of possible members. The faculty, the staff, and your classmates here are among the best. Utilize them. I know they would be honored. Go finish your plan, set up your first meeting with your personal board to share your plan, and go execute to this plan. Use the same conviction I mentioned earlier to propel your career to the next level and help your board. You see the benefit of a board every day in business, and it also works in life. Believe in yourself and show no boundaries. So waste no time, for the one thing you can be sure of is as soon as you think you have a plan ready for execution, an event or something will happen, which means you will have to make adjustments or changes to your plan. Sometimes unexpected, and sometimes you can see it coming, but either way, change is something you will have to face. Dealing with change is something you absolutely must be able to handle in today's world. It isn't an option. The old axiom, change is the only constant, has never been truer. And to maximize your life's return, you will need to expect change, have contingency plans, and be able to course correct. My advice for you is to view change as an opportunity. You can't always plan for it, but you need to be prepared to embrace it and grow as a result of it. And change occurs, you can lean on your personal board and others to help you navigate through it. As I said earlier, remember the importance of a team. If you choose your personal board or team well, change is so much easier to manage. There is always risk, but if you invested the time and use your resources well, change can lead to synergies and growth that are very difficult to duplicate and get a second chance to achieve. Fortunately, you've learned the skills necessary to navigate successfully through change here at Fuqua. But don't stop learning here. You have to continue to be well-rounded and to continuously learn. Classes may be over for you, but strive to remain a student. As I mentioned earlier, I received my MBA just a few years ago. I didn't do it because it was going to propel my career to new heights, but because it was a lifelong goal of mine, and no matter where you are in life, you have to continually be learning and finding those opportunities to accomplish the goals and purposes of your life. I had one of those opportunities not only to embrace change, but also to learn. About 12 years ago, I was successfully moving up the ladder at Comcast when I was asked to move to Brussels and drive our European initiative. From a professional standpoint, it was a no-brainer. I would gain valuable international exposure and experience that would likely open up future of opportunities. But this was a big change for my family. I value their happiness, and for me to be successful, I needed their buy-in and support. In retrospect, this situation wasn't much different than when I had to present a proposal to the board of directors for approval. I had identified a change in course with potential for a great return, but there was risk that it wouldn't work out. And my team, whose acceptance was essential, looked to me to provide direction. Back to my Brussels opportunity, it was critical for me to clearly communicate to my family what this move meant for their futures individually and for our future as a family, and how it would impact each of them and their goals. Once I had made the case, I had to listen to their insights, address their concerns so that everyone would be comfortable with the decision and thrive. In the end, we made the move, and while it did advance my career, more importantly, it also provided great rewards to everyone in my family whose lives are much richer for the experience. And that is the ultimate way in how we judge, by the growth and performance not only of ourselves, but by those around us. So I recommend you consider this. Life is not a game of one-on-one. It is a team sport. There will be times when you have to take the game-winning shot, but more often, you'll want to reach the maximum return on your life. You'll need to pass the ball or play help out on defense. Finally, please find the time to make an effort to give back through mentoring others or just providing help in a cause that touches your soul. It will make a significant difference in your life. I know firsthand how much it made a difference in my mind that my first external board member helped me. I have mentored a number of people who have worked for me in my career, and to see them now become CFOs of other publicly traded companies is very rewarding. Today, businesses are evaluated on a dynamic set of metrics. There are the traditional financial measures like profitability, earnings per share, and margin. But increasingly, companies are being measured by how they treat their employees, the positive or negative impact on their communities, and whether they are good stewards of the environment. It's the same in measuring our life's accomplishments. It's not just a singular metric of your title or wealth, but the balance of the sum of your entire portfolio. How well you did as a parent and sibling, your impact on the community and workplace. It's how you spent your time, and did it provide a return, not only for yourself, but for all the lives you touched. Recently, I was the fundraising co-chair for a women's shelter. Domestic violence is something that touches the core of what we believe is wrong. Shelters normally don't take in pets. My time in helping this organization was never more gratifying than when I met a mother and her kids who needed a shelter but did not want to go because they were going to have to leave their pet behind. Sometimes the pet is the only comfort a person has in this situation. With the help of a team of people, this women's shelter became the first one in the United States to take in pets, along with the family members. The gratitude of that mom's face left an indelible mark on me that I will never forget. So treat your time as an asset wisely. Choose how to spend it to maximize your investment. Today marks the culmination of a significant investment of time, money, and effort for each of you. And now is the time for you to begin to earn the return on your investment as a Fuqua graduate. You've been blessed with intelligence, a world-class education, and a support group that stands ready to help. It has never been more an exciting time to lead, and no one is better positioned to do that than you are. So choose your goals wisely and set your path. Remain committed to your success and unafraid of your failures. Work hard to improve yourself and better those around you. And if I can leave you with one more thought, please make sure that no matter what you undertake, you do it with integrity. For it is the only asset you will have in your life that cannot be taken away from you. Someone can take your car, someone can take your house, but no one can take your integrity. You have to give it away, and you do so when you choose incorrectly. I guarantee you that the proudest moments in your life are when you stepped up and used this asset wisely. For it will be the asset that pays you the greatest return and the most satisfaction. Congratulations on your graduation from a fantastic program. Good luck in your future, and thank you for this opportunity to speak to you today.
Joe, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, for reminding us of what matters at a point in our lives where we're making choices, and for being the kind of leader that everyone wants on their team. So on behalf of the community, I have this gift for you. Thank you.
At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Fuqua Scholars from the Cross-Continent Class of 2013, the Weekend Executive Class of 2013, and the Global Executive Class of 2014. Throughout the course of the program, each of these students has worked hard in a very challenging academic environment. The successful completion of the MBA is an outstanding accomplishment, and each member of this class has balanced this program with a full-time position and a personal and family life. Today, we want to honor those who not only completed the Cross-Continent Weekend Executive and Global Executive MBA programs, but have distinguished themselves in their academic program. Fuqua Scholars are those students who graduate in the top 10% of their class. As we consider the quality of all of the members of this class, we can also reflect on the outstanding achievement of being designated a Fuqua Scholar. I will read the names of the Fuqua Scholars alphabetically, and I would ask that as I read each name, that person stands in his or her place. I would also ask the audience to wait until I've read all of the names before indicating their support and congratulations. That will help us ensure that all of the names can be heard. The Cross-Continent MBA Class of 2013 Fuqua Scholars are Andrew Paul Alberg, Molly Rebecca Cable. Remain standing, please. Brian David Cook, Fatima Carter, Michael Andrew Coxis, Paris Kalani, Cale Stanley Kuklinski, Garrett Scott Laughlin, Brandon Meyer, Norvell Elliott Miller V, Edward Francis O'Donnell Nee, Stephanie Kara Patrick, Joshua Michael Peters, AJ B. Punjabi, Malipale Mutton K. Reddy, Sashitij Sharma, Kathleen Marie Sprangers, Jenna Marie Voss, and Johannes Edward Maximilian Zwick. Please join me in congratulating the Cross-Continent Fuqua Scholars. Now I'd like to introduce the Weekend Executive MBA Class of 2013 Fuqua Scholars. They are Virendra Agarwal, Christopher Brian Odie, Madhusudan R. Gundam, Pritish Kar, Jeremy P. Law, Sabyasachi Pradhan, Megan Lauren Wing, Charles Benson Wright, and Jing Zhang. Please join me in congratulating the Weekend Executive Fuqua Scholars for their outstanding achievement. Now I would like to introduce the Global Executive MBA Class of 2014 Fuqua Scholars. They are Manfred Damer, Mark Enyedi, Douglas H. Liedberg, Scott Keith Persky, Micah Yates Steele. Finally, I'd like to recognize Daniel Mark Smith, a Global Executive Class of 2013 Fuqua Scholar who has joined our ceremony today. Please join me in congratulating the Global Executive Fuqua Scholars on their outstanding achievement. And now, it is time to individually recognize each of our graduates. Today, we ask each of our graduates to come forward to be recognized and congratulated by Dean Boulding, Joseph Utenauer, and myself, and the entire assembly gathered here today. At this time, I would like to ask Monica Catalano, Program Manager for the Cross-Continent 2013 class, to come forward and read the names of the Cross-Continent 2013 graduates. We ask the graduates to file up to the stage on your right, and as your name is called, please accept your scroll and our congratulations. A moment ago, I asked you to please refrain from showing your support for the Fuqua Scholars until all the names were read. I want to point out that this part of the ceremony is quite different. This is a very special moment. I encourage you all to cheer for our graduates and to show your joy and support. For those of you who would like to take a photograph, please make every effort not to block the movement of the students as they move to and off of the stage. Thank you.
Lise Mitchell Bostrom. Ali Sohail Isaac. Richard Adeshina Sean LeBennett. Amit Agarwal. Aideen J. Agamiri. Samir R. Aguera. Andrew Paul Alberg. Amir Ali Morani. Swathi Narayan Austin. Azaria Mulana Azin. Brett Israel Bowman. Andrew Coleman Brock. Molly Rebecca Cable. Luis Alejandro Carmona Benitez. Thomas Ye Chen. Ngozi Chidozie. Alfonso Chong Lee. Alexander J. Christian. Stephanie Ann Chung. Nikhil Govardhandas Konda. Brian David Cook. Eric Hunter Corwin. Stephanie Grant Cravero. Rohin Dabas. Michael Benjamin Demaray. Abhishek Dada. Gustavo A. Diaz Flores. Morgan Francis Dyson. Michelle Lynn Idam. Erica Nicole Elkington. Matthew David Emerson. Jason Daniel Empson. Jessica D. Escalante. Richard Alexander Essig. George Lewis Ferguson, Jr. Kevin Ryan Fitzpatrick. Alpesh H. Gandhi. Jung Gao. Jonathan Glendon Geehan. Yvonne Akeo Gore. Willie Albert Green III. Dwayne Herman Gregg. Jack William Guidarelli. Sophie Hartshorn. John Wilson Hill. Christopher Ryan Hodges. Don Chow. Jung Huangfu. Robert Nyland Huggins. Adil Mahmood Ismaili. Fatima Carter. Jonathan Whitfield Kassoff. Deborah Michelle Kaufman. Mejdi B. Corey. Sergei I. Kuznetsov. Abhijit Kohli. Paris Kolani. Kanan Ramakrishnan Krishnarayapuram. Kyle Stanley Kuklinski. Fei Young Lei. Randall John Lambright. Garrett Scott Laughlin. Samuel Chun-Yu Lee. Lennis Lung. Lauren Elizabeth Lilly. Christina Joy Lindstrom. David Patrick Laurie. Molly Luo. Alvaro Luque La Rosa. Pamela Beck Maddox. Joseph Brian Maynard. Jeffrey Walter McAleer. Whitney James McClary. Scott Allen McClintock. Nare Mekatarian. Brandon Christopher Meyer. Jackson William Miller. Norval Elliott Miller V. Zitin Moza. James Mwai. Vibhu Vijay Narwekar. Edward Francis O'Donnell Nee. Conrad Hastings Oki. Marnie Ann Auersler. Christopher Joseph Paricio. Shama S. Patel. Stephanie Kara Patrick. Joshua Michael Peters. Brad Harold Poland. Daniel Eric Presley. Kevin George Pringle. AJ B. Punjabi. Christina Joy Ramirez. Mithun Reddy. Jennifer Lynn Redman. Catherine Mary Lillian Rohrer. Kashidid Sharma. Anthony W. Shaw. Suad Sharif. Jason Paul Slivka. Kathleen Marie Sprangers. Christine Elise Squires Huber. Sham Sridharan. Jacob Stark. Narisara Alicia Totemwangs. Aaron Mark Udler. Kathleen Alice Vandervoort. Michael R. Van Grunsven. Jenna Marie Voss. Caroline Terrell Wasserman. Adam Wesley Wilson. Christine Wong. Ong Wu. Stephen Kenneth Young. Tyler C. Zacharias. Sophia Zaman. Jingchu Ju. Alberto Zuazo Ampuero. Johannes Edward Maximilian Zwick.
Congratulations to the Cross-Continent MBA class of 2013. At this time, I would now like to ask Purvi Bhatt, Program Manager for the Weekend Executive Class of 2013, to come forward and read the names of the graduates. Again, we ask the graduates to file up to the stage on your right, and as your name is called, please accept your scroll and our congratulations.
Jamin Subhash Patel. Horatio Williams Jones IV. Kevin Francis Roy. Birendra Agrawal. Krishna Mohan Amir Neni. Shekhar Arun. Christopher Brian Audi. Noah S. Berger. Anirban Bhattacharya. John Wesley Baumgardner. Marcelo Sidrao Carioni. Huai Yang Chen. Douglas Michael Church. Peter David Creighton. Vivek Datta. Shashank Davangiri. Dome Francois Julien Gigi. Arshkit Singh Dullat. Bala Gangadhar Gadam. Rajendra S. Galagali. Vinay Bikhabhai Gandhi. Joshua Lance Glover. Bhavesh Jayant Gonda. Wallace Kyle Groves. Tao Gu. Madhusudan R. Gundam. Ruchir Shashikant Gupta. Richard Page Gwaltney. David L. Haley. Christopher Stephen Hamrick. Rashida Antoinette Hodge. Jeffrey John Iannacone. Prem Kumar Jagatisan. Mayuresh Shripad Joshi. Bidesh Kar. Shashi Kiran Kirti. Emmanuel Davis Casamo. Jeremy P. Law. Erin Marie Lentz. Wesley Simon Lobo. Charles Douglas Makalicki. Chinedum Obiora Okoizi. Neil Rajesh Parekh. Edward Allen Pinkney. Prashant Ponam Todayal. Sabyasachi Pradhan. Soma Sundaram A. Rajakumar Vadival. Loai Fatih Saeed. Sean Roy Saunders. Anup G. Shah. Justin Lawrence Singer. Max Skalatsky. Andre Delano Smith. Ryan M. Smith. Dayanand Suldal. Graham Christopher Summers. Rajneesh Tiangri. Corey Scott Turner. Chirayu Gautam Ved. Brian Paul Williams. Megan Lauren Wing. Charles Benson Wright. Christopher Sullivan Wright. Michael Robert Zen. Nancy Finling Zimmerman.
Congratulations to the Weekend Executive MBA class of 2013. At this time, I would now like to ask Susan Kesty, Program Manager for the Global Executive 2014 class, to come forward and read the names of the graduates. Again, we ask the graduates to file up to the stage on your right, and as your name is called, please accept your scroll and our congratulations.
Luke Kulinick Klein. Douglas H. Liedberg. Sankar Polyaniappan. Ram P. Agarwal. Sia Anag Nastu. Brenda Chimfwembe Walya Tole. Fred Campos. Lynn Kavidak. Vincent P. Daporter. Manfred Dima. Sergei Derivina. Hassam El Ansari. Mark Inyeti. Cesar Adriano Figueiredo. Andrew Robert Gilbert. Michelle Marie Hausman. Enrique Christian Irono. Daniel Robert Jakes. Assad Haider Khan. Thomas Lecoq. Vladimir Lizgovko. Chris Joseph Lynch. Konstantin Laulchev. Maksat Mamashev. Brian Theodore Mosley. Ricardo Vanderlei Neves. Marco Navro. Jeffrey Scott Narby. Nicholas Vincent Parisi. Atin Patel. Alan Patino Webb. Pella Pedersen. Scott Keith Persky. Rafael Plazoles Delgado. Alexander Nicholas Pazzi. Hillary Ann Roberts. Vladimir Senkevich. E. Stephen Scales, Jr. Micah Yates Steele. Jeffrey Brian Still. Anand Kumar Subramaniam. John David Tucker. John Patrick Vague. Jose Augusto Voisin. Michael Wood. Nicole Wood. Eric George Woods. Ali Zayad.
Congratulations to the Global Executive MBA class of 2014. Finally, I would like to invite 2 Global Executive Class of 2013 graduates who have joined our ceremony today to please come forward as their names are read to accept their scrolls and our congratulations.
Derma Smith. Richard Udvilligen.
So this concludes the presentation of the graduates. If you could please join me in congratulating all of the graduates from the different years and classes. Soon we will all join together and be able to celebrate this wonderful day in the Fox Center. And so for all the friends and family in the audience, I ask that you remain seated until we've all processed out, and then I look forward to the festivities together in the Fox Center. For the graduates, if I could ask you all to please rise for a minute. Before we finish this ceremony, there are a few things that I'd like to say directly to you. The first one is I want to thank you all. It's interesting that we're here on Coach K Court, and Coach K always has an expression for the kinds of players he wants on his team. And that expression is that he wants people that are going to unpack their bags. Now that's an interesting concept for all of you because you had to do a lot of packing and unpacking to be a part of these programs. But the reality is that mentally you all unpacked your bags, you joined in, you invested 100% in terms of being a part of this program, in terms of making sure that the experience was great for all of your classmates and that it made a difference in your own lives. And so for that, I'm tremendously grateful that you made that investment, that you did unpack your bags and were with us 100%, even though you had so many demands on your time. And so we're deeply appreciative, not only what you've done in terms of the co-creation of your own experiences, but your willingness to invest to make sure that you leave us in better shape than when you arrived. Having thanked you, I now want to make some requests of you. The first request is you're all together and you've created incredibly special bonds with each other. And the tendency is going to be, I want to hold on to these people during this time of celebration because we did it together. And what I want to remind you of is what you've heard repeatedly during this ceremony, which is, yes, you all did it together, but you did it with all the people that are joining us today and the people who aren't here that made it possible for you. So as you get caught up in the celebration, please take the time to thank all those people who made it possible to have such a great day. The second request I have is, please stay connected with us. If you think about your experiences were made better because of the people that had preceded you, who had given back, who were willing to share their experiences, to network with you, to help you find the next job, to increase the quality of the experience that you had during the program. And so now you move from being one of those students who's getting that experience to one of those alums who's going to help us create that experience for the students that follow you. So please stay connected and make it possible for the people that follow you to have the same benefits from you that you have drawn from the people who preceded you. The third thing that I want to ask of you is something that you will, as soon as I say this, you'll say, well, of course we're going to do that. And the request I have is stay connected to each other. And you're going to say, well, of course we're going to stay connected to each other. We created these unbelievable bonds during this program. I'm never going to forget the people that got me through this experience. But there's something interesting that happens, which is once you go back to your jobs, your careers, communities, family life, life happens. And what you'll discover is, as life happens, if you are not proactive in keeping those connections alive, they will dissipate. And so what I want to tell you is, don't take these relationships for granted. Continue to invest in them over time so you can celebrate that 50th reunion together, and that you still have those bonds that are as meaningful then as they are now. Because the reality is, as you think about this board of directors concept for your life, a lot of you should be candidates for each other for those boards. And therefore, the value that you have to offer each other doesn't end now, it continues. The last thing I have to ask of you is the most difficult, but the one where I have the most confidence that you will reach that standard, which is when we accepted all of you into these programs, we said that what we aspire to do is to produce leaders of consequence. And that's a heavy burden, a high standard to achieve that lofty goal of consequential leadership. But we took you into the program because we believed that was possible for all of you. And having gone through the programs with you, we firmly believe that that is completely realistic, that all of you will lead lives of consequence. And so as you think about what happens next, please experience all the success in the world, but also lead lives of significance. Be consequential. Thank you all very much.